You good?
Yeah.
Hey, that was the epitome of a conference game in mid-January in sub-degree weather, wasn't it? Both teams act like they were playing with mittens on. Our goal coming in, not always going to play your best, and we certainly did not do that. But I thought we played tough. I thought for the first 25, 28 minutes, I thought East Carolina was by far the tougher team. I thought they were just making more toughness plays. And I thought in the last 7, 8 minutes, we were the tougher team. And as a result, we get out with a much-needed win. We've now won 8 of our last 9, is that correct? We continue to get better defensively. Defensively is where the game was won. That and some toughness plays, timely shots, Butter with a big 3, made free throws down the stretch. Good to get to 12.
Obviously, these guys are out there shooting from 3 really well. Just what were you able to do to kind of slow that down a little bit in the second half?
Just really attention to detail, trying to push up. You know, they were a group, they were a little bit like us. Neither one of us are prolific three-point shooting teams. We're at about 6 threes a day. They're about 6. Where percentages are very similar. Their DNA is a lot like ours. Get to the free throw line, pound the glass. They pounded us on the glass. We did a better job, especially in the second half, of finishing some plays at the basket. We didn't turn it over. They're a high-volume turnover creating defense because they are so pesky, handsy. They're physical. They got a really physical front line. But I thought for the most part we handled all of those things, pushed up on those threes, and then at the end, again, we were playing with a little bit of a late lead. I think it was 6. What was the biggest lead we had? I guess 9. We were right at the end, but we ended up winning by 8. But I think it was like 6, 7, and we started going to a little bit of passive pressure back to a zone to try to keep them in front of us, and that was effective as well.
Look at Christian Coleman. He's had a really good last few games. Not even stuff you see on the stat sheet, but today, I feel like that steal and that sound kind of really
Brought some energy.
That was the transition point from them being the physical to y'all being the physical.
Yeah, because, Yaks obviously had a very un-Yaks-like day, especially the way he's been playing as of late. He got in foul trouble. He just seems out of it. And, we're typically playing a 3-man post rotation. Chris stepped up in a huge way. I thought J.D. was not his typical self until the second half. Finished some huge plays, got some big defensive rebounds, finished 1 rebound away from a double-double. I thought it was his best game in league play. And again, defensively, when you can hold your opponent to 61 points, under 37% from the floor, force 16 turnovers, it was a good night on that end of the floor.
You kept on saying execute, especially down in the second half. I heard you on the baseline, especially for JD too. How was this game an important reminder to execute when they're being physical, grabbing it? I mean, you might not get some calls. How was this a good reminder for him, but also for the rest of the team?
Yeah, I think execution is the key to life, personally. I think everybody's got great ideas and hopes and aspirations. Who can execute? Who can get it done? And so we talk about this every day, man. You've got to execute. And when you get to this point in the season, people are going to know your actions. They're even going to know your calls. So sometimes you can say something and they have an idea of what the action is going to be. You still got to be able to execute it. And you still got to be able to get the ball to where you want to get the ball. And then if you get the ball there, you got to be able to finish the play. I thought we did a better job of that in the second half. We ended up shooting, just over 43%. But I thought, again, the timeliness of some of the shots, none bigger than Budda's 3. I thought A.J. made a huge play off the bounce a couple of times. And I thought E.G., man, great finishes inside, made his free throws, 8 assists, 1 turnover. I thought he was the only reason, quite frankly, we were in the game for the majority of it. They were outplaying us, but we were keeping that thing 3, 4, 5. We were right there because E.G. was making plays. Then he had a little bit of an E.G. moment where he got into that ice skater mode a little bit, and then he wasn't playing great. He had about 3 or 4. He missed the dunk. Then he took an ill-advised shot, and then he didn't run back. And they played 5-on-4 a couple of times. But then he settled in, and I thought he really orchestrated our team down the stretch.
How nice does it go from the last game, you win by almost double digits, in this game again you didn't win by 8, it's not quite as close, but also you have, JD and Eric, this game they scored 31, and last game they didn't score a lot, so it's almost like other teams are having, do you think they're having a little time to figure out who's going to be the hot player and focusing on 1 or 2 people?
Well, we've got 5 guys that average double figures. All our 5 starters now that I put A.J. in the starting lineup. And then Daniel Ortiz is certainly capable of that. Chris Coleman is certainly capable of that. And Tony's had his moments where he's capable. So really the 8 guys that play the minutes they're all capable of getting double figures. And, you know, as you said, it's been yaks. It's been AJ. JD's had moments. Eric's had moments. Bud has had moments. But we've got a number of different guys, I think, that can rise up and make a play when needed.
A guy like that would be Daniel Ortiz. Is that kind of going to allow him to kind of come in and maybe they don't know as much as him, and that allows him to kind of get those shots when you don't need them?
Yeah, we had a big one tonight. We had a clean look. I thought he'd kind of gotten out of it. He still goes 3 for 7, 2 for 4 from 3, 8 points, doesn't turn it over. It was plus 17 in the plus minus, which is huge. He's getting so much better defensively. And he's a guy that I think one day soon, hopefully it's Tuesday, you're going to look up and he's going to make 6 or 7 threes in a game because he has that ability.
There was 34 points in the paint for you guys tonight. There was a couple times, too, where guys would get underneath the basket and there'd be some passes out. How important is it to continue to finish at the rim, but also just go up for it?
Yeah, we only have 9 turnovers. I think in our last game we had something around there. We're doing a good job of not turning it over, and we're doing a good job of sharing the ball. 18 assists last game, 12 today. I thought we overpassed a little bit sometimes. Yaks had an opportunity, and he should have finished. Sometimes in traffic, the catch, even though the passer thinks the opportunity may be there, the catch for the receiver is in such tight quarters, makes it difficult. And I think we did that 2 or 3 times tonight. Just trying to be too unselfish. There are times you got to take what the defense gives you. Thank you. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. No.
Last game. Second straight game under 70 points for your opponent. Do you feel like you're starting to
Definitely
hit that corner of defensive?
I think we're doing a better job of shrinking space. We call it shrinking the floor. We're making people play through us for a long time, and they still have. There's opportunities where there's not going to be a shutout. You just want them to grind for their points. And there were a couple of times, especially early in the season, where we were just letting guys have straight line drives where it's impossible to even bring help over because they don't have time. We're getting guys off their spot. They're having to play through us a little bit more. I thought our bigs anchored us at the basket against a very talented front line against ECU. I think Brandon Johnson, what do you have in the first half? Maybe 12 points. He ends up with 15. I thought we did a good job of not allowing him clean finishes at the basket, and it ultimately ends up getting us to where we wanted to be.
How important is recovery going to be? Because the guys were all over the floor.
Yeah. Sunday, typically we haven't had a day off in a while simply because of the way the games have fallen. So we got a 2-day turn. We'll be back at it tomorrow. There won't be a lot of physical stuff for the heavy minute guys. We've got to keep the guys that are not playing as much in shape. And then Monday we've got an early flight out to Charlotte. So it's going to be more mental preparation than physical and continuing to work on getting better as a team. I think we're making strides in that area, but we still got a long way to go. Thank you.
Well, Jacob, just how was it like? You've had a couple games where maybe you didn't score as much, but how was it like getting back out there and contributing a lot more to this team?
Oh man, it felt good. I'm pretty happy right now with my performance. With me starting off conference play, not kind of the player that I expected to be or the player that I'm capable of being. But good thing, Yaks Boy has came to his own, has become a fan favorite, and he's been putting up great numbers. So it's a great shout out to him for having my back. But today I was pretty ecstatic with my performance, and I'm glad I could help my team from an offense and a defensive standpoint, and got the win. So I'm pretty excited about that.
How much does that give you having a game like this against a team that's probably a little bit more physical than the teams y'all have played, and just being able to get out there and how physical them?
I think this game is kind of something I'm used to coming from the SEC. Just being how physical the SEC is. East Carolina's kind of how the SEC plays. Those two big bigs and the big 3-man that they had. So I was excited about that by playing real physical, knowing that's going to come in and be very physical. But it gives me a lot of confidence. Just coming in, been putting in a lot of work to get back on track. And today is step one of getting back on track, and hopefully I can keep it going into the Charlotte game.
Daniel, he comes off the bench sometimes a little spark too. How important was his couple baskets tonight, especially?
Anytime Daniel comes in and makes shots, it's a spark for our team. He's pretty much a flamethrower. People know what he is when he comes in the game, but if he gets it off, it's a high chance of going in. And I always give him and AJ confidence to shoot the ball. Each time they catch it, I told him at halftime, stop shot faking, shoot a 3, because that's what y'all here for. That's what y'all do well. So I continue to have confidence in those two, and continue to tell them shoot a 3 as much as you can.
Early on in the season, Coach AJ was really, for you guys, communicating on both sides of the ball. How has the communication really grown for you guys? And how is that, implemented, especially down the stretch here?
I kind of told people, outside of my circle, that this team is going to be a team that grows game by game. It's not a team that you can, grow throughout the summer and it's there. I think it's game by game. We've matured and got better. I think the last 9 we're 8-1. I think our defense has improved. I think it's back-to-back games we held our opponent under 70 points, so that's a great sign. But I think we're just improving game by game, and having each other's back and spending time with each other makes it better.
What have been the thoughts of Christian's kind of developing these last few games? Another guy who's kind of in the front court there with you, kind of a stretch 3-4 guy, but just what have you seen from him coming in and kind of being that third big guy for you guys?
Chris is kind of that energy guy. He's pretty athletic. He can make flashy plays and kind of get the crowd going. Obviously, he can. He's pretty athletic. He can block shots, dunk, cause all type of chaos for defenders and people guarding him. So whenever he comes in, I continue to get my whole team to come just to be themselves. Whenever he's in the game, whenever he's in passing lanes, whenever he's screening roll in the baseline, making plays, dunking and finishing, it's a good sign for the Blazers.
How good did it feel that, I think there was one point there, you were about 10 feet from the basketball and you got the ball and no one's around you, just took up and make a nice shot and you hit the paper next guard.
Yeah, it felt good. It was bad on my part because I didn't know the shot clock, so I'm pretty much, I hear the whole crowd, the whole gym saying shoot it, and then once I shot fake and he jumped and I shot it, I was good with it, adding my point total, so I'm good.
How did it feel when you took that charge and the call finally got called?
I was amped because I had just missed the layup on the other end, but I came down and made it up with a defensive play. I knew he was coming down full speed, and I had in my head I'm going to take a charge, and I got it, and I was super excited.
How important is, I guess not feeling this, sacrificing your body, but being able to make plays like that, how important is that for this team moving forward?
It's very important. I'm the leader of this team, so I have to lead by example with my voice. Once my teammates see me put my body on the line, they know they can do it as well, and they pretty much have faith in me. So continue to be the leader by example with my voice, and we'll keep improving.
Going back to that one too, were you surprised by the mix? Afterwards you kind of just look back and gave the nonchalant shrug, and you're like, hey, what's gonna happen?
If it would have went in or came out, I was like, oh well. I didn't know the shot clock, but it went in, so I was like, hey, it happens. It went in, so you get lucky sometimes.
I'm not gonna leave you open far out again, are they?
Nah.
Anything else for Diddy?
Appreciate it.
Thank you.